Here we are on Lilyfield Road, take 3. Another day of roadworks. Let's see what's going on. Now, normally coming down through here on a bike, you can be going pretty quick. In fact, with the speed hump there, you can be going faster than the cars a lot of the time. And with a little bit of a hill behind you, it's quite possible to be doing over 40 kilometres an hour along here, which generally discourages vehicle or drivers from overtaking you and comfortably allows you to stay wide from the parked cars, stay out here in this lane and not get in the way. Now, normally what happens on a normal day when there's no roadworks, at about this point now, you start heading over to the left and you slide into the bike lane. But the problem we've got here is you can see the bike lane is open along this point, and then just hit, whoops, suddenly cones. And you're pushed out into the traffic. And what I did here is I stopped and had a chat. Now watch this cyclist coming up behind me. He's done exactly that. He's slid into the bike lane, and he's probably starting to see that there's cones up ahead, and he's moving across, and look, there's a taxi next to him. Let's just look at this in slow-mo, and you can see he's got to get back out of the bike lane into a shared lane with the taxis, and thankfully there was no oncoming traffic. The taxi was able to cross over the double white lines and give him good clearance, which is not a good way to be. So you can see that cyclist, here we go, coming around. They've seen what's coming up ahead and they've stayed out wide. Here's another one coming up, and you can see that you've got to you can be very easily confused. Now let's just have a look at this in slow-mo. You got a sign there saying, well, it looks like the lane is blocked because it's right where the bike lane would be, but the bike lane's open, but there's cones, so it's really sending mixed messages about what you're supposed to be doing. And we've got traffic controllers at various places. So is the lane closed or is it open? And it's the uncertainty, and obviously the cone layout is a little bit different every day. That sometimes they seem to start a little bit further back, and sometimes they push it out. But the problem is you're coming around a corner, and your sight lines are restricted, and you can't see what's ahead of you. So what I did is I pulled over and had a chat with this bloke. Obviously he wasn't in charge, but I did have a discussion about how leaving that section of bike lane open actually creates a hazard for cyclists rather than actually getting rid of a risk. Now, what's the answer to this? Well, my take on this is at this location here, you put a line of cones in that keep cyclists out in the road lane, and stops them entering the bike lane. This is fairly straightforward. And it just stops that horrible trying to blend in with the traffic as you come around the corner business. It's really not that hard. Obviously the traffic management plan needs to be updated to cater for this, but to me this is much safer than having cyclists go into the bike lane for a short period of about 50 metres and then having to merge on a corner with fast moving traffic coming up behind them. And if you don't think that's a hazard, well, look, I suggest hop on a bike, go and ride this a couple of thousand times in peak hour with lots of cars coming up behind you, and see what the real world tells you.